driftwood. See if we can't find some for the 125. This is my little secret place. Come here and chill all the time. A lot of drug addicts and crackheads come here though. Not this time of day though. They'll come at night. Now that's a big ass driftwood. That's tight. That would look wicked. Oh, you stupid car. You stupid car. I got her running. She's going across the road, ain't she? Oh, she stopped. Shh, don't move. Wait. What's up, fishtangtv.com and YouTube, coming at you with my 10-gallon serpae central tank. And I've noticed I've lost track. I made this YouTube channel to teach you guys about aquariums. I've just been doing updates and whatever, and now I'm back on track, and I want to start teaching again, because that's why I got into my YouTube channel. I just wanted to teach and spread my knowledge, and maybe people could teach me a thing or two. Oh, check it out, I got some purling going on the Calgum. Oh fuck, let me get a better focus. I got some purling on the indica. I got some purling on the Calgum back there. So that's some purling on the piece of lattice. As you can see that little bubble right there. I'm sure it's somewhere else in the tank, but that's the only place I see it right now. But back to the point. I want to talk about in this video the buffering effect in aquariums and why people connect aquariums so they have more than one aquarium, and how they do it and why do it. Well, first of all, why they do it is because the bigger the water volume, the better. In aquariums, the bigger the better, and that is 100% true. If someone else tells you otherwise, they are lying through their teeth, or they are not informed. The reason bigger is better is because I'm always going to use this little explanation. If you drop an oil, a single millimeter drop of oil in a 10-gallon tank, it's going to say have 10 parts per million. Let's just say. If you drop that same drop in a 100-gallon tank, it's going to have 1 part per million, because it dissolves throughout the whole entire tank. And it's better to have 1 part per million something bad than 10 parts per million bad, because that 10 parts per million is going to affect the tank more than 1 part per million. So the bigger the water volume, the longer it takes problems to occur, and the least, it won't affect them as much. You see the purling and shit, there goes the bubbles up there now. So basically, if you want purling, it happens sometimes in the morning, the night, after big water changes, and I just did a big water change, and that's why everything's purling. But how they do it is, it can be through different ways. They can have it through aquariums on top of one of each another. You can have it side by side through pumps. Basically, it's through siphons and pumps, and it's just a return pump, and siphon breaks, and it just stops. And long story short, they connect aquariums through an overflow. It drains down to another tank, and the other tank pushes the water up through a return pump, and it's a never-ending cycle. It's one of my other mottos in the aquarium. Everything should cycle in your aquarium. Everything. So I don't know if you noticed yet, that stand is not the stand I had before. Boosh. Tonight I removed my 10-gallon tank off my dresser, and it looks like crap right now because the plants are all out of whack, and I've just been neglecting the tank because, I mean, I'm ready for the 125. But there might be something happening with this tank. I have 3 bettas. I am putting the white betta in first in the 125 to get the cycle started. No, he cannot cycle the entire tank by himself, but he'll be able to start it. And then I can act like I'm going to the pet store, go to my room, which will be the pet store, and buy a fish, and put another fish in the tank. That means the cycle can catch up a little more. And every couple of days or every week or so, I can put more fish in it slowly but surely. And that way the cycle can catch up. So, my 55 is going in the basement too, and my 29 gallons going underneath for the sump. And in the sump is going my royal damsel, maroon clownfish, and chocolate chip star. Well, I've got three bettas, and I don't want to put the betta in there because he's going to be around cichlids, and bettas and cichlids really don't match. And I just want to, even though he's not really aggressive to the cichlids, I just want to take him out because I'll have that much less aggression in the tank. So if I take them out and I'm moving the 55 and all my 20-gallon fish can go in the 55 to take the place of 2 large fish, well, that works out, doesn't it? So I'll have an empty 20-gallon. So what I was thinking, if I had 3 bettas and an empty 20-gallon, take my 3 bettas, get 2 dividers, use that Marine Land Pro filter, and that's more than enough for freshwater, and just let them live in there happily. Maybe aquascape something like this, maybe different, I don't know. Haven't planned that out yet. But if the betta, all 3 bettas go in the 125, my bad, what am I talking about? If all 3 bettas go in the 20, excuse me, if all bettas go in the 20-gallon, then I'll have these 2 tanks empty. And I set it up like this. Why? And I was talking about buffering aquariums. Well, if I set them up like this, I can build another PVC overflow. Wish I didn't throw it away because I wouldn't have to go out and buy another one. I want to set up another reef. I set up my second saltwater tank as a 10-gallon at first because I wanted a seahorse. And I got a seahorse, and she magically disappeared one night. Don't ask me how, but it just happened. I tore the tank apart, and I had a whisper filter, a few pounds of live rock, and a screen on the top, so there was no escape. It just magically disappeared. 2 weeks later, I had a crown tail betta and a 1-gallon disappear. I couldn't find it. Had a lid over the tank, just magically disappeared. I don't know. So basically, what's going to happen is, if I do decide to turn this to a reef, I'm not doing deep sand bed. Deep sand bed takes a year to establish. My 20-gallon will eventually, in a year, establish itself, and there'll be 0 nitrates. But I'm not patient. I'm not that patient. A year, hell no. So what I want to do is just put a very fine gravel sand layer on this 10-gallon when it turns into a reef, if it does. And down here, just load it, and I mean load it with Chaetomorpha, Clerpa, Haladia, Dragon Tongue, I don't care. Macroalgae, there won't be a square inch of this tank not filled with macroalgae. I will have more macroalgae, I will have more plants in this refugium than I have up here. I will have double the amount of plants that I have in this tank down here in the refugium if I decide to go with saltwater. And if I decide to go to saltwater, it's either going to be a seahorse or I'm going to set up an SPS tank. And an SPS tank, why this small of a tank? Why not? If I have a tank this large, just full of plants, and that means I'm getting 0 nitrates, why not? Then again, I have other options too, like SPS, softies, a little mixture of it, leathers and stuff, or I could just do a seahorse tank, which I'm really kind of wanting. So that's what's up, fishtanktv.com, YouTube. Possibly get another saltwater tank. Oh, check it out, the Walichi's pearling too. I didn't notice that. All those bubbles up there, if you can see it. Y'all can't see it. Later. Comment, rate, subscribe. Later.